Hey everybody, how you doing? This is about to be a really fun video. In this video, I'm going to take my 300 Blackout bolt action. We're going to check the 0 at 100, do chronograph speeds, show you the drop charts, energy charts, and then I'm going to stretch it out, use the dials, and show you how to hunt with 300 Blackout. It's going to be a whole lot of fun. If you haven't seen my video or you're not subscribed, make sure you're subscribed. Go check out the video last year where I took 2 whitetail with this exact setup. Got scope camera footage. It's probably in the top 5 of my favorite videos I've ever done. 300 Blackout versus deer. That's an awesome video. But what I'm going to do today is take this and do all that stuff I just talked about. It's going to be a whole lot of fun. We're going to stretch it out. So, quick on my setup. This is actually a discontinued rig. I don't think you can get them anymore. Super budget friendly though. Savage Axis. Short barrel. It's a 16-inch barrel and some change, I believe. On the end, it's got a threaded barrel. That's literally why I bought it. I've got my Banish 30 can on the end. I put that can on a bunch of different 30 cals. It's a good can. This has a heavier barrel than normal. These heavy barrel, short barrel Savage Axis. And on top, I just put a different scope on it. So we're gonna have to get this thing zeroed. I had a real budget-friendly Bushnell banner on top that came with the setups, one of those combo rigs, but super late last night I put on this Zerotech. This is a Zerotech Thrive. This is the, make sure I tell you exactly right, this is the 3 to 12 Thrive. Not an expensive scope, and if you need a discount, we get 20% off of everything Zerotech on their site, code WHOTEEWHO, so check that out. But definitely on the budget-friendly side of optics, which goes along with the Savage Axis. But I needed this so we could stretch the 300 Blackout further in this video. That other scope wasn't friendly for dialing. This one's going to help us dials. You'll see what I mean here in a minute if you're confused so far. Ammo, we're using the exact same ammo that I took the deer with in that deer hunt video. This is a 120 grain hollow point Remington core-locked copper. I might as well bring you in and show you one of these real quick before we get to slinging them, just so you can see what they look like. There is an up-close look right there. 120 grain hollow point, that core-locked copper. Now the box velocity says 2100 feet per second. I'm gonna have to get my own reading from the 16-inch barrel, and then we'll make the drop charts. But first, I gotta get this thing sighted in dead on at 100, and then we'll go from there. Let me turn on my target camera and let's sling them. I did the bore sighting already, looking through the barrel, so I should be at least on paper at 100. Keep your fingers crossed on that. All right, so part of this video is, you know, will it hunt? Somebody's calling me, hold on. My wife. All right, so part of this video is, will it hunt? Yes, I've taken deer with this exact setup, minus a different scope. But at what distance is that a good idea or reasonable theory based on the energy at given distance? And we're going to talk about that. But first, like I said, let's get it dialed in at 100. For this one, the bore sight, I just took the bolt out, looked down the barrel down here, and went with it. I think we should at least be able to hit a paper plate. I was real careful trying to make my adjustments there, but I'm going to hold center of that paper plate and send one here. Hey, our right and left is almost perfect, and we're maybe 2 inches high. This is an MOA scope, so if it's up, we need to come down, twist it that way. I'm just going to turn it to the dot. Try my best to, anyways. Should be around 5 clicks or so. Ish. Let's send another one, see where this one hits. Should be closer to the bullseye. Oh yeah. So, based on that, I'm not going to waste a bunch of ammo. I'm good with it. I hunted with this stuff because it grouped good out of this rig. So I know, and I'm confident in this loading out of this Savage Axis. You shouldn't hunt with something that you hadn't practiced with and proven that you're dialed in and groups good. But that being said, now that we're good at 100, let me get a chronograph reading quick, and then we'll make a drop chart, and then we'll stretch it out to 200 next with the 300 Blackout. Let me pause real quick and say, this is supersonic. I'll show you here the proof here in a second on the chronograph. 300 Blackout, you know, it's a lot of subsonic ammo out there. My personal experience, I do not recommend you hunt with subsonic ammo. I know lots of people will disagree with me, and that's fine. You get to have your own opinion. I have shot 2 deer testing subsonic ammo, and we never found either one of them. So hunting with subsonic ammo, I am 0 for 2. I'll probably never do it again. No reason to when you got supersonic ammo. Just my 2 cents there for free. Let me get out the chronograph and get a speed here quick. All right, I had to take a break there because delivery man with a new dishwasher came with a new dishwasher. But where were we? Chronograph speeds. Oh yeah, I just went to grab my chronograph and the battery's dead. Luckily, this exact setup, I previously got the chronograph speed as 2,061 feet per second at the muzzle. If you don't believe me, let me put that footage in here real quick. 2,061, and I'm gonna show it to you just in case you don't believe me. 2,061. Anyways, I just plugged all those numbers and calculated some drop and some energy. So 120 grainer in these 300 Blackouts. The G1BC is 0.251. There's that velocity, 2061 feet per second. And then I plugged in the temperature, the humidity, and all that. Now these ranges ain't gonna make a huge difference, but it will make a difference. So plug it in if you got the data. More data, more better results you'll get out of your calculations. So dead on at 100, you can see there in the chart. Next, we're stretching it out to 200. So between 100 and 200 yards, this stuff out of this rig is dropping 9 inches exactly. And this is an MOA scope, so for 200 yards, we're gonna dial it to, this says 4.29, so we're gonna dial it 4.25 MOA for 200 yards. Let me set this turret to 0, and then I'll set up the 200 yard camera, and we'll get to slinging some of this copper 300 Blackout at 200 yards. This is gonna be fun. Might as well show you what I'm doing. So this is a 0 tick Thrive. I'm gonna reset the top turret. So we zeroed this rig to be dead on bullseye at 100 yards. We want this notch to be on a 0, so when we dial, we know what we're doing. I'll loosen that cap, whatever you want to call it, with a piece of brass. You could use a coin or whatever if you need to. Oh man, don't turn it the wrong way. I'm trying to film this with one hand. Then, once we got that loosened up, I can simply take the cap straight up, move it to 0, and then line it up with the lines, put it back down, and then tighten the cap. Pretty easy design, but once you got it dead on 0, you gotta 0 your turrets, and I'm gonna do the same thing to the winches over here, just to show you that quick. All right, now here we go. What was our chart saying for MOA for 200 yards? 4.29. So I'm gonna take my turret, I already zeroed it, I'm gonna go up to 4, and they're in quarter marks. So 4.25 is pretty close to 4.29. What was the energy gonna be at 200 yards? Energy at 200 yards is already down to 631. Even though this is supersonic, at 200 yards, it's lost a lot of energy. You know, the 2 deer that I took with this were at about 20-25 yards and still had over 1,000 foot-pounds of energy. 300 Blackout, all things considered, is more of a in the woods, close range type of hunting round. But that doesn't mean we can't send it at some steel at 200 yards. 630 foot-pounds of energy? Who am I to tell you not to deer hunt with it? But I'm just the guy making the videos showing you the numbers. There are people taking deer with a lot less energy stuff, like 9mm and stuff. Just saying. So let's slap some steel, have some fun. I got the dial there. Let me triple verify it. 4.29. See, I only went to 3.25 because I was talking go to 4 1/4. Let me load up this mag. Then we'll get to sending them. Assuming I did everything right, we should be able to hit that steel at 200. I've hit targets a lot further with 300 Blackout than just 200 yards. And we're gonna keep on going after this. This will be fun. Also, I know I mentioned it, but these are copper, so it may leave a little bit different mark on the steel too. Here we go. Too much yapping already. Hey, we got it. It moved and I heard the ding, but I don't see where the paint came off. Maybe the top of it. Let's keep sending some more. Yeah, we're hitting in the, it's favoring a little bit high, I think. Yep, just putting them in there. Every time. We got a nice little, probably 2-inch group there, so. Let's send one more. This is too fun. I got all this set up. Why not? So, low recoil, pretty slow round, but it gets there. You put in the numbers. It'll do it. Nice little group there. Not too shabby. Let's go to 300. What's our dial gonna be at 300? Man, this is fun. People ask me, what do you do for fun? This is what I do for fun. For 300 yards, it's dropping almost 3 feet at 32.8 inches. The MOA dial is gonna need to be 10.4. We gonna have enough dial for that? Yep, we are. 10.4. I'm gonna go ahead and go 10.5 MOA. And I'm gonna put my cap on there and we're gonna send some at 300 yards next. What's the energy at 300 yards? 469. Be right back. Let's send some at 300. This is fun. All right, now 300 yards with the 300 Blackout. I think if it was any hotter out here, I might melt. But I got it dialed for, what did we say, 10 1/4? Let's send one. Before I send that, let me triple verify that that's the correct dial. We don't want to be doing anything squirrely. Well, I didn't screenshot it. Come on, man. Hopefully I still got the website still up. Here we go. I'm gonna screenshot it. I'm gonna need that for when I edit the video and show y'all what I'm looking at. So hot, my phone don't even want to work right. So for 300 yards, we need a 10.44 dial. So we need a 10.5 dial. I'm gonna hold for the vitals and see what happens. I got the sun behind me. We might be able to see some pretty cool trace dropping it in there. What did we say? It's dropping almost 3 feet. That is where I like it. Do my best here, try to do a good squeeze. 12 zoomies on this baby. Got it, first try. Looks like we hit right there in the vitals where I was aiming, I think. Kind of hard to see, but I saw it shaking and heard the tink. But this is going pretty slow. Or I might have hit it right in the neck there, actually. It's hard to say. One of those dots might be a bug. Not the greatest trigger squeeze there. I jumped. Still thought I would have hit it though. Can't see where I'm missing. It's so low energy, it's not kicking up a bunch of dirt or anything down there, at least not that I saw. I think we might be missing low. How do I hit it first try and then miss 3 more? So we hit there, but I honestly can't see where it's taking the paint off. That's dialed for 11 MOA right there. I can't tell if that's hitting center or high or low, or it's not taking any paint off because it's so slow that far away. See, then that one missed with the exact same hold. Goofy. What are we working on, like a 50% hit rate or something? I'm holding exactly the same every single one of these. I can't see where we're missing. Let me send one more just for fun, but we're gonna go down there and see where we're hitting at. Man, we were real good at 200, but maybe our group's not as tight at 300. Man, I want to end on a hit. I think I'm high now. Man, I'm just missing all over and I can't see where it's hitting. And another miss. Yeah, at 300, I'm not grouping that good with this thing. Let's go look at the 200, then 300 targets. All right, so I can't give up that easy. I looked at my super zoom camera. It looks like we were kind of hitting a group across the spine there. So let me come down a little bit. Actually, 2 clicks down. And let's send them there. Maybe our speed was abnormally high and we should have had a better speed sample. But let's try a couple more. I dialed it down to 10 now. Yeah, it looks like we're hitting on the right side of center across the back. This should have brought us down a little bit. Maybe we were sending them over the top that whole time. Let's try 3 more. There we go. Hit it. There's a lesson, don't give up. And for the 100 and 200, I was using the lead sled. I've got this Rock BR rest. It's a Caldwell rest out here for this. I kind of like using this sometimes. I feel like maybe it might be more precise, I don't know. Let's try to get 3 in a row at this dial. There we go. We got it figured out. 10 MOA for 300 yards. Right in the vitals there. Yeah, you can see that group I'm doing there now. Bing, bing, bing. Let's send 3 more and just do a drive it home. Drive it home, man. I'm gonna have to get me one of those little tent deals because I'm out here evaporating away. Here we go. Let's try to take some more of that paint off right there in those vitals. Man, that's hitting right where I'm aiming too. This is fun now. Ah, there I go missing again. Come on, end on a good hit there. There, we hit it. But now let's go look at the targets. I'm happier there. All right, so here's our group at 200. I guess I should have known that I'd have been a little bit high at 300, just based off this group being higher than center line. But at 200 yards, that's probably borderline a 2-inch group right there. So, hey, not too shabby. Now let's go take a close look at that 300-yard deer. All right, now, so walking up to that 300-yard deer target, I can't remember if I told you, I've been in and out all day today. This is a 1/3 size deer target, so I can get my whole hand all the way around it. This is a Caldwell AR 500 33% shrunken deer. So if you can hit this at 300, you're pretty good. So here's where I was grouping. I did have a pretty decent little group right here off the spine. So when I did have it dialed for 10.5 and 11, I was hitting it right here. Look at this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 skimming right off the top. But then when I dialed it back down, I put 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I need to bring my calipers out here so I can measure these, but just based off my thumb there, that's probably slightly over a 3-inch group at 300 yards. Not too shabby for 300 Blackout. Pretty cool. That's a lot of fun. I'm glad I didn't give up and dialed it back down there. Groovy. But there you have it, guys. 300 Blackout. Will it hunt? Yeah. I know a lot of people that hunt with 300 Blackout, but make sure you've tested yours out to whatever distance you're planning on hunting at. Make sure you verify it like we did here today. Because of the heat, I was about ready to give up. But I thought maybe I just wasn't seeing it, not taking the paint off. Well, come to find out, I was just nicking it right off the spine every time. But now I've got that set up for that ammo and that Savage X's 300 Blackout out to 300 yards. I'm dialed. I'm money. Everything beware. That'd be a whole lot of fun to take on some hogs too with that. But hey, appreciate you watching. Comment down below what you want to see me test out next time. Appreciate y'all. Make sure you're subscribed. See you on the next one. Hooty hoo.